Welcome, everybody. Today's Mental Health Monday topic is self-love and acceptance practices. My name is Natalie.
And I'm Daille.
And we're mental health and wellness peer educators. All right, let's get into the topic.
Okay, so first is body neutrality versus body positivity. So one of the last mental health Mondays that we did was on self-acceptance rather than self-love. And so this sort of relates to that as well. Thinking about your body in a neutral and accepting way versus in a positive and loving way. It's really hard sometimes to go from being body negative into straight into body positive. And so trying to heal that for yourself is your first priority. So first is acknowledging the ways that your body works well and the ways that you don't think that it works well. Sometimes there are things like disabilities that may put limitations on you, and it's okay to not like those things. But seeing your body and what it does in all of its different ways all together. Then focus on having general health when exercising and not how you can fix yourself. Any movement is good movement in terms of exercise and is obviously healthy, but what you want to avoid is doing exercise and movement to try to fix something about yourself. You're focusing on how much like your body is what it is and accepting that and not trying to fix yourself. And then the last one is kind of weird, but wearing clothes that make you feel comfortable, and then not being afraid to adjust your clothing size, especially when you're going from body negativity and just trying to go back to a baseline. Whatever your baseline is a good baseline, no matter what the clothing size is. And also wearing clothes that make you feel comfortable doesn't necessarily have to be like sweatpants and a hoodie. It can just be whatever makes you feel good about yourself. And this applies to things that aren't necessarily clothes, like makeup. If you feel more comfortable wearing makeup, then go ahead and do it. It just avoid making yourself feel self-conscious when you go out. Oh, okay. So the second topic is on intuitive eating, which is it's not a diet, but it's a way of watching what you eat and being intuitive about what you're eating and focusing on honoring your hunger and recognizing satisfaction. So recognizing when you're feeling hungry and then recognizing when you're full or when you feel satiated. One of the main focuses of intuitive eating is making peace with food and rejecting rigid food rules. There's a lot of mainstream dieting information about like, for instance, like Weight Watchers, like food has specific number of points and you can only have so many in a day. Or like high sugar foods are bad foods that you shouldn't eat. When you're trying to make peace with food, trying to just reject rigid food rules and just focusing on what makes you feel good. So that's the next point, is honoring your health and how food makes you feel. So for instance, like I know if I eat like a whole thing of Twinkies or something, or like a whole thing of sweets, it's probably going to make me feel gross. So I don't do that. But then alternatively, if I feel like I want to have a snack and there's Twinkies in my pantry and I eat one, that's fine. That's makes me feel good and satisfied my hunger, and now I can move on. But trying to limit yourself on I can never eat Twinkies right now or ever again because they're bad is not what you want to be. That's not the mindset that you want to be in. And then also being aware of toxic positivity, which is the message that you have to be happy and positive all the time. I mentioned a bit about self-acceptance over self-love. And so it's okay to feel down and to feel your emotions sometimes, even if they're not necessarily positive. Um, there's um, a lot of messages on social media that focus a lot on positivity, toxic positivity, sorry. And with messages like, you know, being happy is a choice and things like that, when it isn't always. It's not your fault that you feel the way that you do. A lot of people struggle with mental health issues like depression and mood disorders. So saying that happiness is just a choice, it dismisses that. So instead of focusing on those messages, unsubscribe literally on social media, or just limit contact with people who you're feeling sort of frustrated with from all of the toxic positivity messages, because it's okay to not be okay.
Alrighty, so make sure that you set healthy boundaries with yourself and with others. So in order to do that, clearly identify your boundary with them, understand why you need that boundary, and make sure to be straightforward and transparent. Be very clear with what you need in the relationship. Don't apologize or give long explanations. If people don't understand you right away, if you have to keep explaining yourself, then they're not really respecting you. Also, address the boundary violations early. Do not let people keep crossing the line over and over again. And finally, trust your intuition. Like, know when it is healthy, and like know when it's not. Know like when your friends and family are crossing your boundaries. Just trust yourself, and always make sure to set those boundaries whenever you need to. Next slide. All right. Oh yeah. So self-love and perfectionism. This is what a lot of people deal with, especially students, I would say, us students. So self-love and self-compassion are especially important for perfectionists and those who tend to overwork themselves. To combat the perils of perfectionism, you can start by admitting that it can negatively affect your overall well-being, mental and physical. So acceptance of the issue is always a great start to helping yourself. So in order to show yourself compassion, you can do so by not beating yourself up for beating yourself up. We are not always perfect, but we don't need to beat ourselves up for not being perfect, and for judging ourselves. Be kind to yourself with understanding and forgiveness, and recognize that no human is perfect or meant to be perfect ever. And finally, here are some self-love activities to practice. So, and again, just to remind you guys, this isn't about toxic positivity. Obviously, we don't want that, but this is just to give you more insight into how to maybe surround yourself with more healthy ways to show yourself love. So the first one is gratitude. So you can practice gratitude by listing things that you love about yourself, such as your abilities. You can appreciate your health or something that you're looking forward to doing. You can engage in joyful movement. Even if the gym isn't your cup of tea, just know that any activity where you're raising your heartbeat or breaking a sweat is considered physical activity. So it could just be dancing or walking. It does not matter. Focus on your internal values, such as wisdom, loyalty, self-awareness, individuality, a sense of humor, ambition, anything that you value. Number 4, surround yourself with positive people. It's important to surround yourself with those who recognize the importance of being yourself and liking you the way that you are. Number 5, do nice things for yourself, such as bubble baths, sleeping in, or treating yourself to your favorite food. Number 6, write encouraging notes to yourself. So such as you can do this on your mirror, on a whiteboard, or on sticky notes, and just stick them where you'll see them. Number 7, spend time outdoors. Studies have shown that fresh air is proven to help increase serotonin, and it's always good to get some vitamin D from the sun. Number 8, accept compliments. Do not overthink the compliments that people give you, and do not fight them. People usually mean their compliments, and there's really no reason to not believe them. Number 9, kind of what Daille was saying earlier, wear clothes that make you feel good. Even though not everything is about looks, sometimes a little attention to your wardrobe can give you the confidence you're looking for. And finally, number 10, live up to your own standards, not someone else's. And that's it.
I think that another thing to point out with self-love activities is that self-love isn't just about loving yourself, but showing your self-love. I saw something that one of another self-love activities is like taking yourself on a date, or giving yourself a spa day at home, if that's what you're into, but just showing love to yourself rather than just thinking about your body in a positive way.
Right.
And then we don't have a slide for this, but CAPS is always an option when you're feeling down or when you're having a lot of negativity about yourself. The CAPS office is on the second floor of the UC. And so you can walk in and ask for an appointment, or you can call or email them for an appointment that way. All 3 ways are fine, and they're offering completely virtual appointments, as well as sort of hybrid appointments. They'll give you a private space, and then you can take your mask off and meet with your clinician over Zoom. So that's all we have for today. Thanks everybody for watching, and have a good night.